Hello there, very good evening and welcome to Primetime News on TV1 for the Newsfirst, where the people come first. I'm Martin Satyanesan.
And I am Rachel Pramodara. As always, your headlines first.
Suspect in Anuradhapura doctor's sexual assault arrested. GMOA continues strike despite suspect's arrest. Strike will continue until 8 a.m. tomorrow. Strike causes widespread difficulties for patients across the country. The All Ceylon Medical Association raises concerns over political motives of the Anuradhapura Hospital director, despite the law being enacted. Deshabandhu will appear in court if guaranteed no arrest. Lawyers inform the Court of Appeal. Additional Solicitor General states no guarantees can be given. Rajitha appointed to UNP positions. Former organizers express opposition to Ranil.
On to those stories in detail. A person accused of sexually assaulting a trainee specialist doctor at the Anuradhapura Teaching Hospital in our official quarters was arrested by the police this morning. Sri Lanka police stated that steps will be taken to present the suspect to court after questioning.
The suspect, who allegedly sexually assaulted the trainee specialist doctor in official quarters on Monday, had later fled the scene. On Tuesday, Sri Lanka police announced that the suspect had been identified and would be arrested immediately. Accordingly, the police and the special task force managed to arrest the suspect in the Galnava area this morning. The police stated that the suspect is a 34-year-old deserter from the military. Investigations have revealed that this person had also acted as a monk for some time. The suspect had been arrested in Kaluthara for drug trafficking and was in remand custody. He had come to Anuradhapura on the day of the incident after being released on bail. Police investigations have revealed that the suspect sexually assaulted the doctor when he went to steal items from her official quarters. The police stated that the suspect committed the crime by threatening the doctor with a knife. The suspect fled the scene with the doctor's mobile phone. The police were able to locate the suspect through the signals from the stolen mobile phone. The token strike initiated by the government doctors demanding the immediate arrest of the person who sexually assaulted the doctor has not yet ended. The Government Medical Officers Association stated that the strike will continue as planned until 8 a.m. tomorrow. Due to the strike, outpatient and inpatient services in government hospitals across the country were disrupted, causing severe difficulties for patients throughout the day. Except for emergency services, other medical services at the National Hospital of Sri Lanka were not operational today. This was the fate of the people who came to clinics from various areas this morning.
Sorry. අපි පලිත් නෑනේ ඉතින්නේ අසරණ මිනිස්සු ගාල්ලේ මාතර අනුරාධපුරේ පොළොන්නරුවේ ඔය සෙනග අඬන මතන දොස්තරලා මොකද කරන්නේ කියන්නකෝ බලන්නකෝ පොලිසිය රාජකාරිය කරා නම් ඉවරයි කොච්චර මිනිස්සු අපහසුතාවය විඳිනවද කියන්නකෝ මේ ලෙඩු කී දෙනෙක් මැරෙනවද බලන්නකෝ දැනටම ලෙඩු කී දෙනෙක් මැරිලාද මේ කරන සාගාන අපරාධයක් නෙමෙයිද මේක මේකට මේ අපි පලිද මෙයා මේ දේ කරලා එයා වල්ලනකම් ස්ට්‍රයික් කළයි කියලා දැන් හෙට වෙනකොට ඒ මිනිස්සු අහුවෙනවද නෑනේ.
Newsfirst correspondents checked the situation in several government hospitals including Kandy, Gampaha, Gore and Hambantota.
වෛද්‍යවරු ඉතින් යාළගේ ඉල්ලීම ඉටු කරගන්න ඕනේ ලෙඩ්ඩු අපේට නොතිය අසාධාරණයක් වුණා නම් ඒවා ලෙඩ්ඩු අපේට නොතිය තමයි කරන්න ඕන මේක අහිංසක ජනතාව අපේට ගන්න එපා කියලා තමයි අපිට කියන්න තියෙන්නේ
අපි කනගාටු වෙනවා අනුරාධපුර වෛද්‍යවරයෙක් වෙච්ච සාධාරණ පිළිබඳව ඒ වුණත් අහිංසක රෝගීන්ව මෙහෙම පෙළෙන එක නම් සාධාරණයි කියලා මම හිතන්නේ
අපේ වෛද්‍යවරු බලන දෙවියෝ වගේ අපි අතහන කට්ටිය මේ වගේ දෙයක් කරාම මොකද වෙන්නේ මේ එක දෙයක් දඩවීමා කරගෙන ඒක අපි සාධාරණ කරනව නෙවෙයි ඒ මනුස්සේ පාපතරේ අත්අඩංගුවට අරගෙන තියෙන්නේ දැන් දෙවියන්ගේ නාමයෙන් මේ මහජන රෝගී නාමයෙන් මේ බෙහෙත් ටික දෙන්න කියලා අපි මේ වෛද්‍යවරුන් ඉල්ලන්නේ මොකද්ද මේ කරන්නේ ඇල් වතුර විතර තියෙනවා අපි අතන රෝගන පිළිකාකාරක වෙන කල් මේ වගේ දේවල් මේ රට පුරාම දේවල් වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඇයි මෙහෙමට උත්තරයක් දෙන්නේ නැත්තේ?
පොලිසියෙන් කරන්න ඕන රාජකාරිය මෙතන අහිංසක මිනිස්සු බලලා නැහැ දේශපාලනීකරණය වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. දැන් පහුගිය දවසේ මේ දොස්තරෝට ගිහිල්ලා රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ දිලිප් ජයවීර හම්බුණා. ඒ කට්ටියට පුළුවන් ද මේ ප්‍රශ්න විසඳන්න? දේශපාලනීකරණය වෙලා තියෙන මේ සේරම. ඔම දේශපාලනීකරණය වෙලා තමයි. අර පොලිසිය ඇති මේ රාජකාරියනේ මේ අහිංසක මිනිස්සු බලි.
මේ කැත දේශපාලනේ මේ රටෙන් ඉවත් විය යුතුයි. ඔය දැන් ඔය වර්ජනය කරන කණ්ඩායමනේ පහුගිය දවස්වල රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මහත්තයාට දේශපාලනයට එන්න කියලා ආරාධනා කරේ. වර්ජනය කරලා රෝහල් පද්ධතිය අඩපණ කරලා මේ අහිංසක මිනිස්සු අමෝරි දාන්න හදන්න එපා. ඒක දේශපාලනේ නෙමෙයි ඒක. ඒකට ඉතින් බලු පාලකයන්ගේ වැඩක් තමයි ඒක.
Meanwhile, due to the token strike by government medical officers, hospital operations in the northern and eastern provinces were also disrupted. People who came for treatment and clinics at hospitals in Batiklo, Vaunia, Kilinochchi and Samantarai faced severe difficulties.
வைஃபுக்கு சுகமில்லை ஊசி போட வந்து நாங்கள் டாக்டர்ஸ் ஒன்றும் வரையிலேருந்து ஸ்டாக்கன்னு சொல்லினோம் என்னென்னு தெரியல நாங்கள் வந்து இப்போ மாரம்பலத்திலிருந்து வரோம் முதல்ல எங்களுக்கு தெரியாது தெரிஞ்சிருந்தால் நாங்கள் வந்திருக்க மாட்டோம்
டாக்டர் இல்லை ஸ்ட்ரைக் இந்த மாதிரி கதைக்கணும் உண்மையாக உரிய தெரிய இல்லை ஆனால் நாங்கள் திரும்பி போராடலான்னு இருக்கிறோம்.
A group, including staff members from Anuradhapura Hospital, organised a protest march this afternoon in response to the incident.
The hospital administration and the relevant local authorities were unable to prevent this incident. As the Association of Government Medical Officers, we will continue the protest and professional actions until we receive clear answers regarding their inefficiency.
In addition, protests were organised this afternoon at multiple hospitals, including those in Kurunegala, Padulla, Balangoda, Kantale and Mahayanganaya. Why are doctors continuing their strike despite the arrest of the suspect, who was the main focus of the initial demand? This was the response by the Government Medical Officers Association today.
The strike will continue until 8 a.m. tomorrow, after which it will be called off. However, what we are currently doing is not a typical strike. We will seek justice. We are also advocating for a stronger program to prevent such incidents from happening in the future.
ඔබතුමාලා ඊයේ දිනේ සඳහන් කරේ අපි පළවෙනි මාධ්‍ය හමුවේදී අද උදෑසන 8 වෙනිතුරු වෙසකකරු අත්අඩංගුවට ගත්තේ නැත්නම් වැඩ වර්ජනයකට යනවා කියලා.
Our decision yesterday was based on the progress and information available at that time. However, today we have called this token strike in response to the developments that have since emerged, as well as the demands of our members and the various factors that have influenced the situation. Law enforcement in this incident does not end with the arrest of the suspect. Legal proceedings will follow and they will take time to unfold. We will then have to assess to what extent justice will be served.
Minister of Health Dr. Nalindra Jayatissa visited the Anuradhapura Teaching Hospital to assess the situation. The minister held discussions with the hospital's doctors, security, police and municipal council officials.
Later in the day, Minister of Health addressed this matter in Parliament.
මේ තරම් බරපතල නොවුනත් මීට ආසන්න සිදුවීම් කීපයක් පසුගිය වසර කීපයේම මේ රෝහල් පරිශ්‍රයේ සමහර නිල්නිවාස ආසන්නයේ මේ ඉඩම්වල සිදු වෙලා තිබෙනවා.
Similar incidents to this have happened over the years around official residences and other lands surrounding the hospital, although they were less serious than this incident. It was either a mugging, an intimidation, or breaking and entering a female doctor's room. These matters should be resolved by the hospital administration, not through the health ministry. For several years, neither the acting director of the hospital nor the administration have looked into this. The Ministry of Health plans to address this moving forward, especially shortcomings in the security apparatus and administration of the hospital. The trade union which called the strike was of the stance that it will enter a strike within the north central province if the suspect isn't arrested by 8 a.m. today and stricter action will be taken later to launch an island-wide strike. But last night we were suddenly informed that a 24-hour strike would be launched. This has caused great distress to patients. Launching a strike of this nature in the midst of the government prioritizing this matter and taking multiple action over it is unjust, in my opinion. We need to empathize with the people who pay taxes, which in turn translates to our salaries. Even now it is possible for the strike to be called off. We need to feel for the people who seek medical assistance at state hospitals. We can engage in discussions. You should have already felt the sincere nature of our actions. So I make a request for the strike to be called off and to resume service as usual.
නතර කරලා මේ සේවාව අපේ රටේ මහ ජනතාවට ලබා දෙන්නට කටයුතු කරන්න කියන ඉල්ලීම මම මේ වෙලාවේ ඉටු කරනවා. බොහොම ස්තුතියි.
These remarks were made during a media briefing held by the Health Services Centre today.
අනුරාධපුර රෝහල කියන්නේ ලංකාවේ විශාලත්වය අතින් ගත්තට පස්සේ පස්වෙනි විශාලත්වයට දරන රෝහල.
The Anuradhapura Hospital is the 5th largest hospital in Sri Lanka and requires a qualified administrator with expertise in medical and health administration. However, previous political authorities appointed a political ally instead. Dulan Samaravira is the son of former North and East Governor around 2005. He has held the position of director at Anuradhapura Hospital for over 15 years without proper qualifications due to political influence. The hospital has faced a period of anarchy that led to inadequate security for healthcare services, leading to this unfortunate incident. Even amid the ongoing strike, the GMOA remains silent on Dr. Dulan Samaravira.
දුලාන් සමරවීර කියන වෛද්‍යවරයා සම්බන්ධ වචනයක්වත් කතා කරන්නේ නැතුව තමයි මේ ක්‍රියාමාර්ගය කරමින් යන්නේ.
News First with the people.
Tokyo Super, ඕන වැඩකට super.
Welcome back to the news. On Tuesday afternoon, Sri Lanka police searched the Mathara Moravaka residence of former Chief of Staff to the President, Sagala Ratnayaka, in a bid to locate former Inspector General of Police, Deshabandhu Tennakone. Sri Lanka police state that this search was conducted based on information received by the Mathara Division Crimes Investigation Bureau. At the same time, the Court of Appeal scheduled the order on the petition filed by Deshabandhu Tennakone seeking an interim injunction to suspend the arrest order against him for next Monday.
The petition was reconsidered in the presence of the Court of Appeal bench comprising Acting President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Mohammad Lafa Tahir and Justice Sarath Disanayaka. President's counsel Dr. Romesh De Silva, appearing on behalf of petitioner Deshabandhu Tennakone, reiterated that it is illegal to issue an arrest order against his client who is still serving as the Inspector General of Police. The President's counsel pointed out that the arrest order was issued based solely on a report submitted by the Valigama Police. Translation of excerpt. This is completely wrong. According to this section, a magistrate cannot issue such an order based solely on a report submitted by the police. No statement or record was taken from the petitioner before issuing this order. A notice should have been issued to the petitioner before making such an order. Unquote. Acting President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Mohammad Lafa Tahir, posed several questions to the President's counsel. Translation of excerpt. Did you meet the petitioner? Was the affidavit signed in Colombo or Mathara? Unquote. The President's counsel avoided answering the judge's questions. Justice Mohammad Lafa Tahir further questioned the President's counsel, asking, quote, can't the petitioner appear directly before the court and make a statement? Unquote. Responding to this, President's counsel Dr. Romesh De Silva stated, quote, Your Honour, my client is willing to appear, but there is a risk of arrest and remand. If a guarantee is given that he will not be arrested, he is willing to cooperate with the investigations. Unquote. Justice Mohammad Lafa Tahir raised another question. Quote, if the petitioner appears before the court, the magistrate will issue an appropriate order. So he has the opportunity to appear before the court, doesn't he? Responding to this, the President's counsel stated, quote, Your Honour, if a guarantee is given that he will not be arrested, he is ready to appear. Unquote. At this point, Additional Solicitor General Dilip Apiris, appearing on behalf of the Attorney General, stated that such a guarantee cannot be given. Translation of excerpt. Quote, on the 27th, officers of the Criminal Investigation Department visited his residence at Ganga Nimawata Hokandara, where he resides. He and his family members were not present. However, the house is under the protection of the Special Task Force and VIP security officers. The petitioner will be arrested based on a court order. This is not a decision made by the police, it is a court order, unquote. After considering the submissions, the Court of Appeal bench announced that the order on this petition will be issued on Monday, the 17th of March.
The collection of signatures for a protest banner demanding the implementation of the law regarding the torture and murder of multiple detainees at the Battle on the Torture camp began in Galle today.
The collection of signatures for the protest banner opposite the Galle bus stand was carried out under the leadership of the Sri Lanka Human Rights Forum.
There has been a public protest demanding the enforcement of the law in this matter. The Commission's report clearly states that Ranil Wickremesinghe, along with his associates and police officers, played a significant role in a large number of the killings. Once the Commission report is approved by the Cabinet, submitted to Parliament through the Prime Minister and passed by a two-thirds majority, Ranil Wickremesinghe's civic rights should be revoked. In such a case, we propose that at least the civic rights of someone responsible for so many crimes be revoked, followed by charges of murder. There is a memorial located in Buddhiyagama in Veerakatiya Tangol, located in the south of Sri Lanka. This, buried under the sands of time, involves a person who was a focal point in the Batalanda Commission report. He was Attorney-at-Law Vijayadasa Liyanarachi, a lawyer, human rights activist and a skilled orator in the political arena. During the 88-89 period, he appeared in court without charging any fees on behalf of those who suffered various injustices due to human rights violations. On the 25th of August 1988, this lawyer disappeared. On the 2nd of September that year, he was admitted to the Colombo National Hospital and passed away at 12:55 a.m. the following day in the hospital's intensive care unit.
මරණ පරීක්ෂණයේදී හෙළි වුණා. මරණ පරීක්ෂණයේදී හෙළි වුණා. ඔහුට ඉතාමත් කුරිරු ලෙස, ඉතාමත් ඛේදනීය ලෙස, ඉතාමත් නින්දනීය ලෙස පාහර ලෙස වද බන්ධන දීලා ඔහුගේ අභ්‍යන්තරම තුවාල 119ක් 20ක් විතර තිබුණා. ඔහුගේ වම් ඇලේ ඉතාමත් දරුණු තුවාලයක් වෙතිදු වෙලා තිබුණා. ඉලෑටම කීපයක් කුඩු වෙලා තිබුණා. ඔහුගේ දේහ දකුණු උරහිසේ උඩින්ද පැනපු සපත්තු පාරක් දකින්නටත් තිබුණා. එය වෛද්‍ය පරීක්ෂණයේදී ඉතාමත් හොඳින් පැහැදිලිව සටහන් වල තුනක් දැකලා තිබුණා.
What happened to Attorney-at-Law Vijayadasa Liyanarachi? The Batalanda Commission report contains about 6 pages of information regarding this death. According to the Commission report, following the disappearance of Attorney-at-Law Vijayadasa Liyanarachi on the 25th of August 1988, his senior lawyer Ranjit Abesurya and others immediately intervened and made inquiries from various parties. According to the Batalanda Commission report, when the then Inspector General of Police inquired from the Tangol Police Superintendent Karavitage Dharmadasa about the matter, he was indirectly led to believe that the missing lawyer was in the custody of the Tangol Police. The then Inspector General of Police, Ernest Pereira, testified before the Commission that on the 31st of August 1988 at noon, the then Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe made a phone call to him. Wickremesinghe had stated that he expected the suspect, in this instance Vijayadasa Liyanarachi, to be brought to Colombo and handed over to the anti-subversive unit operating in the Kalaniya division. Accordingly, the then IGP ordered for Vijayadasa Liyanarachi to be handed over to Assistant Superintendent of Police Douglas Piris, who was residing in the Batalanda housing complex at the time. The Commission report suspects that the lawyer was taken from Tangol to the Batalanda torture chamber. Meanwhile, the Commission report also focuses on the transfer of the lawyer to the Sapugaskanda police station after being handed over to the anti-subversive unit in Paliagoda. Attorney-at-Law Liyanarachi, who was handed over to the special unit, was admitted to the emergency unit of the Colombo National Hospital in a critical condition at 11 p.m. on the 2nd of September 1988. He passed away in the intensive care unit at 12:55 a.m. Excerpt from the Batalanda Commission report. Quote, The post-mortem examination of the deceased was conducted by Colombo Judicial Medical Officer Dr. L.B. Dialvis. According to his findings, Vijayadasa Liyanarachi died due to multiple muscle and skeletal injuries caused by blunt weapons leading to shock and bleeding, unquote. The post-mortem report states that there were 207 external injuries before death. This murder caused a great uproar at the time, and lawyers launched a strong campaign for justice. Amidst the strong public outcry, the then Tangol Police Superintendent Karavitage Dharmadasa and 2 other officers were arrested and charged before a 3-judge High Court bench. However, the High Court later acquitted them due to the inability to prove beyond reasonable doubt that they were the true murderers of Liyanarachi. Excerpt from the Batalanda Commission report. Quote, "The Commission questions why Ranil Wickramasinghe intervened and why he instructed that Liyanarachi be brought to Colombo and handed over to the special unit operating in the Kalaniya division. Wickramasinghe's stance before the Commission was that he never instructed the Inspector General of Police over the phone to act in such a manner. The Inspector General of Police informed him over the phone about the decision to transfer Liyanarachi from Tangol to Colombo and asked if he had any objections to detaining Liyanarachi at Sapugaskanda. Wickramasinghe stated that he had no objections, unquote. However, the Commission strongly rejects Wickramasinghe's statement as noted in the report. Excerpt from the Batalanda Commission report. Quote, "If the Minister of Industries was not actually controlling and directing the special unit operating in the Kalaniya area, why did the Inspector General of Police ask him if he had any objections to detaining Liyanarachi at Sapugaskanda?" Unquote.
නීතිඥ විජයදාස ලියනරච්චි කියන්නේ මගේ සහෝදරයා. ඔහු ඝාතනයට ලක් කරන්නට කරන ලද සියලුම කුමන්ත්‍රණ සිදු වුණේ මේ දකුණේ හම්බන්තොට තංගල්ල ප්‍රදේශයේ කුරුල්ලු දේශපාලකයන් විසින් ඔහුව ඔවුන්ට තරජනයක් කළා තිබුණා. දේශපාලන වශයෙන් සහ නීතිවේදියෙකු ලෙසත් දේශපාලන වශයෙන් මේ රටට ඔහු ගෙන ගිය ඉදිරි වැඩපිළිවෙල ඒ කුරුල්ලු දේශපාලකයන්ට අමන දේශපාලන තරජනයක් වෙලා තිබුණා. විජයදාස ලියනරච්චි මේ දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ දේශපාලකයන්ට රටේ දේශපාලනයටත් මහත් අභියෝගයක් වුණා. ඒ අභියෝගය නිසාම ඔහුව නැති කරන්නට ඔහුගේ දේශපාලනය නැති කරන්නට ගත් පියවරක් හැටියට මේ මරණය අපට හඳුන්වන්නට පුළුවන්කම තියෙනවා.
The Batalanda Commission report contains information on many such murders buried under the sands of time. The Cabinet has now decided to present this report to Parliament in the coming days. What will happen next?
A former Member of Parliament along with several others protested against UNP leader Ranil Wickramasinghe at the Sirikoda party headquarters today.
Ranil Wickramasinghe today presented appointment letters to a group of new electoral organisers, district leaders and authorised officials of the United National Party. Former MP Lakshman Vijayamana, who arrived after Rajitha Senaratne received his appointment letter, protested against Ranil Wickramasinghe. Later, the Agalawata electoral organisers also expressed their objections to the event.
The local government election Sri Lanka 2025.
The deadline for submitting postal vote applications for the local government elections has been extended. Applications can now be submitted until midnight on Monday, the 17th of March.
The National People's Power candidates contesting this year's local government election for Colombo Municipal Council deposited bonds today.
I am confident that we can achieve a resounding victory in this election where familiar faces will take part. We have a strong team. For 75 years, Green has been dominant in the city, but the political landscape has now completely changed. This time, the compass is poised to secure the Colombo Municipal Council.
Samagi Janabalawege deposited bonds for several local government institutions in the Kurunegala district. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna deposited bonds for 19 local government institutions in the Anuradhapura district today. During a discussion held today, it has been proposed to allocate 55 billion rupees from the Samurdhi Fund to provide loans for segments of society who require economic empowerment. The discussion had taken place at the President's office with officials from the Ministry of Rural Development, Social Security and Community Empowerment led by President Anurakumara Dissanayaka. During the discussion, the President has emphasized that the government's goal is to create a prosperous society where the benefits of development are shared equitably.
Are you okay? Whose fault is this? Looks like someone didn't use Tokyo Superbond for tiling. Tokyo Superbond. Do it right the first time.
How fleet my lust? My dear friends, here we are, all in our true colors.
Prefect, Saturday and Sunday at 6:30 p.m. on TV1.
In the heart of Anamadua, lives are changing. For years, patients traveled miles for life-saving treatments, but not anymore. Gammatha renovated a building to establish a dialysis unit at the Anamadua Base Hospital and constructed another building to house a medical-grade water purification system. Gammatha, for the people, by the people.
The Voice Sri Lanka has not only met but has exceeded the standards set by other global editions of the show, particularly those from Scandinavian countries like The Voice Finland and The Voice Norway.
The Sri Lankan version has raised the bar, delivering an exceptional and unparalleled experience that goes beyond the expectations set by its international counterparts.
Over 20 artists and their performances from many seasons of The Voice Sri Lanka have gone viral on social media, with many of them trending on YouTube.
The Voice Sri Lanka Season 3 has successfully introduced a new international television experience to Sri Lankan audiences. Sirasa TV has been able to bring this global phenomenon to the local stage, offering viewers a fresh and exciting entertainment experience.
The Voice Sri Lanka has produced or has put out many talented artists who have performed very well and whose performances have gone viral and popular and have become very successful. And if I'm to say in simple words, their performances have gone trending, have been viral on social media, on YouTube. Anywhere you see, these performances have been very viral. And so today, compared to the rest of the editions of the Voice franchise, such as The Voice Finland, The Voice Norway, those Scandinavian editions of the Voice franchise, Sri Lanka, The Voice Sri Lanka has reached to the top notch of its standards.
never went away. What if it's lost behind? Words we could never find. What about now? What about today? What if you're making me?
This season features some of Sri Lanka's most talented contestants who are competing to showcase their singing abilities to the world. Speaking to Newsfirst exclusively, Nofa Jalil, the international executive producer of ITV Studios for the Voice franchise, highlighted that the good tapestry, the good mixture of languages and the variety of cultures within Sri Lanka are what makes The Voice Sri Lanka special among other global editions.
Every season, the voice set in Sri Lanka has changed so much. There's always progress and it's always new and fresh. Your studio is huge, so you have big, huge studios here, which is great. Great in terms for TV production, production quality, and also great for our talents because it is a platform for them. So to have that space that is huge and on par with The Voice around the world is remarkable. So I'm really happy with the set. I think every season when talent come back, they always go a level up, and that is why they are featured on the Best of the Voice compilation, in line with other countries like Finland, the US, France, Azerbaijan, Nepal. So it's great. Every The Voice is unique. Every The Voice in every country is unique. But I think what makes it extra special in Sri Lanka is a good tapestry, a good mixture of the different language, the different culture, that sort of mix between the modern and the traditional as well, and the languages makes it different.
Following the blind auditions, the competition has moved on to the battle rounds and will be followed up by the knockout stage. Coaches for this season include Mihidwari Ratna, Raini Charuka, Supun Pereira and Hirushi Jayasena, all of whom are dedicated to mentoring the contestants and guiding them through the competition.
This time the talent pool is so competitive, and I think for the very first time it's a season where we have reached global features over and over again. So I think this season is special and we are so proud, and I think this will create a certain benchmark for following seasons as well.
Grooming new talents and new voices. In that case, it's been fact to be really proud of what I've been doing so far. And already we have 20 plus talents on the Voice global stage, which is huge. And has not happened any times before.
This is my third year on the seats, and I'm super excited for the third season of The Voice Sri Lanka. I feel brand new, even though I've done this for 3 consecutive years.
I have a lot of coaching to do, I have a lot of mentoring to do, but more than technical stuff, it's more on the psychology, confidence-wise, what they can do, I mean on stage, what they can bring that they have not tapped into.
Give me all your love was all I ever had, because what you don't understand is I got your grenade. The story of my
Voice Sri Lanka continues to showcase a blend of local talent and international standards, providing an unforgettable television experience for Sri Lankan viewers.
Mama
The Condé Nast Traveller has named Sri Lanka as the world's most family-friendly country.
The Condé Nast Traveller has named Sri Lanka as the world's most family-friendly country for the year 2025. Remitly, an American remittance company helping users send money worldwide, has launched a new immigration index designed to help inform those considering relocating. The report, released in March 2025, ranks 82 countries across 24 factors, from healthcare quality and economic strength to safety metrics and digital connectivity, assigning each with a total score of 100. One such factor considers how family-friendly a country is, looking at data points such as the quality and accessibility of education in each nation. Sri Lanka came in first place. The island nation achieved an impressive score for its education system and a low annual childcare cost of $354.6 per year, compared to $16,439.4 in the US, which ranked in 10th place. These are the most family-friendly countries in 2025. At 10 is USA, at 9 Australia, at 8 Denmark, at 7 Finland, at 6 Germany, at 5 Iceland, at 4 New Zealand, at 3 Norway, at 2 Sweden, and in the first place Sri Lanka.
The daily iftar programs organized to celebrate the holy month of Ramadan is currently underway in the eastern province with Shakti TV as the media partner.
The daily iftar program, which will move to Colombo on the 16th of March, will broadcast live on Shakti TV during the period of breaking the fast. The program features a series of events held at selected mosques in Colombo and other districts, providing a platform for the community to come together in observance of Ramadan. The schedule of locations where the iftar program will take place are as follows. On the 16th of March, Colombo Grand Mosque. On the 17th of March, Barella Jumma Mosque. On the 18th of March, Velavata Jumma Mosque. On the 19th of March, Grand Pass Jumma Mosque. On the 20th of March, Myra Place Jumma Mosque. On the 22nd of March, Masjidul Azaria Jumma Mosque. On the 23rd of March, Elovilla Jumma Mosque Panadura. On the 24th of March, Kanatota Jumma Mosque Avisavela. And on the 25th of March, Tiharia Aminia Jumma Mosque. The iftar program aims to foster a sense of unity and spiritual reflection during this sacred time. Viewers are invited to join the live broadcasts and participate in the communal breaking of the fast, as the program continues to bring the spirit of Ramadan to homes across the region.
In your international news, from Mauritius, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday unveiled a grand vision for security and growth for the global south against the backdrop of China's relentless efforts to expand its influence in the region. Modi made the remarks after witnessing the inking of several key agreements between India and Mauritius, along with his Mauritian counterpart Navin Chandra Ramgoolam in the capital city of the island nation.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was invited as the chief guest at Mauritius National Day for the second time, a rare honour he first received in 2015. Prime Minister Narendra Modi wished the people of Mauritius on their National Day and said he looked forward to being part of the celebrations. In a historic gesture, the Prime Minister of Mauritius, Navin Chandra Ramgoolam, announced the highest award, the Grand Commander of the Order of the Star and Key of the Indian Ocean, for the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi yesterday. Notably, Prime Minister Modi becomes the first Indian to receive the honour. This becomes the 21st international award bestowed upon Prime Minister Modi by a country. 8 agreements were firmed up between the two sides, providing for cooperation in an array of areas including maritime security, trade in national currencies and capacity building. In his media statement, Modi announced that India's new vision for the Global South, called Mahasagar, or Mutual and Holistic Advancement for Security and Growth across regions, will bring growth security.
महासागर यानी म्यूचुअल एंड होलिस्टिक एडवांसमेंट फॉर सिक्योरिटी एंड ग्रोथ अक्रॉस regions.
Modi described Mauritius as an important partner of India. He also recalled how India's vision of Sagar, or security and growth for all in the region, was laid out in Mauritius 10 years ago.
The United States agreed to resume military aid and intelligence sharing with Ukraine after Kyiv said it was ready to support Washington's proposal for a 30-day ceasefire with Russia. After more than 8 hours of talks with Ukrainian officials in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the U.S. would now take the offer to Russia and the ball is in Moscow's court.
Ukraine has reiterated that it is ready to take such a step only if Russia adheres to the ceasefire terms in the same way. Ukraine has agreed to accept a US proposed immediate 30-day ceasefire in Russia's ongoing invasion of the Eastern European country, pending Moscow's acceptance of the same terms. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who will now take the proposal to Moscow, told reporters that, quote-unquote, the ball is in Russia's court, and that if the Kremlin does not agree to the deal, they will unfortunately know what the impediment is to peace. The deal marks a significant change of tone between the US and Ukraine, with both countries now signaling they are on the same side in the ongoing negotiations. Meanwhile, the Trump administration said that it would immediately lift its suspension of military support to Ukraine and its intelligence sharing with Kyiv. The 180-degree shift on the two issues came more than a week after imposing the measures to push Zelensky into negotiations that could lead to a peace deal with the Kremlin.
Pakistan's security forces are continuing their operation against Balochistan separatists who have hijacked a Jaffa Express in Balochistan's Bolan district. Pakistan reports suggest that suicide bombers have taken women and children hostage, making the rescue effort increasingly difficult.
The Jaffa Express was heading to the city of Peshawar from Quetta, the capital of Balochistan province, with 425 people on board when it was attacked. The passengers included personnel from the Pakistan Army and the other security forces who were travelling on leave. Militants blew up the railway tracks and opened fire on the train, killing the driver and trapping the locomotive inside a tunnel before taking control of it. Security forces launched a massive operation to free the hostages, deploying special forces and helicopters, and 155 passengers have been rescued so far. Sources say some 27 militants have also been killed. However, attackers wearing suicide bombs who have been seated next to some of the hostages have made the rescue efforts tougher. Ethnic armed group Balok Liberation Army, or the BLA, which has claimed responsibility for the attack, has demanded the release of Balok political prisoners, activists and missing persons who it says were abducted by the military within 48 hours. Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has condemned the attack and said security officials are repelling the militants.
A media briefing was held yesterday to announce a special program on photography titled The Impossible Shot by Paul Goldstein, to be held in Colombo on the 6th of April.
A media briefing to announce the launch of a special program on photography titled The Impossible Shot by world-renowned photographer Paul Goldstein was held in Colombo yesterday. The program, set to be held on the 6th of April, will provide aspiring photographers and enthusiasts with an unmatched opportunity to celebrate the beauty of the natural environment while also enhancing their understanding of the dedication and skill required to capture stunning and extraordinary wildlife photographs. Paul Goldstein, with over 30 years of experience in wildlife photography and guiding, has gained extensive experience photographing in some of the most challenging landscapes in countries including Kenya, Spitsbergen and Antarctica. Sri Lanka's award-winning wildlife photographer and conservationist Chitral Jayatilaka will also make a special presentation during the event titled Chasing a Dream. Chitral, who has worked to showcase Sri Lanka's biodiversity to the world, will share insights about the challenges and triumphs of photographing the best moments in the wildlife world through his conservation efforts.
From that, we bring to a close this edition of Primetime News on TV1.
Thank you for watching.
Good night.